I'll read. So it's the end of another month, and I've realised as well we're actually halfway through the year, which is incredible. Really, don't know where the time goes, to be honest. So this turns out not only a month end driftometer review, but also mid year, halfway through the year. So I'm just going to look at the numbers. So I'll just start by doing monthly then. So this is the June figures in here now. I'll go through each one like I normally do in turn. But as you can see, we've made 2,500 this month, which is way beyond what I was anticipating. Obviously, the last 3 months are boosted substantially by £800 worth of campsite warden manual work. And I've just realised as well, I'm actually halfway through that. April, May, June, and then I've got July, August, September left, and then we'll be free to travel around again and roam. We'll be off back to Spain, Mrs. D and myself, at some point. Probably won't go as soon as we finish in September, because if we went in October, then we'd be coming back with the 90-day rule, we'd be coming back somewhere between sort of Christmas and New Year. So we might have a little mosey around the UK in October before it gets too cold, and then go out to Spain for November, December, January. That's the current plan anyway, but on to the numbers. As you can see, we've done £1,300 on each way sniper. I have been posting updates in the Discord group each day. I've done really, really well on that until the last sort of 8 to 9 days. I've lost Bet365, which you're probably aware of. So I'm expecting this to be my peak. I've even put in there, I've lost Bet365. I've had a couple of Bet365 accounts, Mrs. D myself, and then a couple of Sky ones I've lost. So they're the two big ones that I've lost both of now. So like I say, I think this will be a peak. So I'm expecting each way sniper to drop off for myself. I'll still be subscribing to it because I still think it's worth it. Even if I'm down to like these figures and the January, February, March figures, it's only 30 quid a month, and if I can make 157, you don't have to do much. You just turn it on in the morning. In fact, when I get down to a few accounts, which I've got 4 left now, I might just turn it on and leave it on. Obviously, you do need to come out of it now and again to get updates, because there seems to be a lot of updates recently. It's a bit of an awkward one, really, for the software developers, because as soon as one of the bookie sites changes, or they put something in a different place, it's not going to work. It's the nature of the software, the way it works, and sort of macro style to actually place the bets. Affiliate marketing, I still want to try and do a video on this, but that's still increasing slightly. We've done over £300 in June, and I've just noticed my payment due for affiliate. I've got a payment due coming in on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, which is £237, which is going to be a really good start to the month. So I do need to do something on affiliate marketing and show you guys sort of how I make money with that and how it works, and I'll do that based on my Canny Drifters YouTube channel and website. Betting gods, we had a pretty bad month with betting gods. It was one was good, one was bad. So the Bookie's Enemy lost me £56, and the Premier Greyhound Tips won me 53. And to be honest, for July, I'm gonna ditch Bookie's Enemy just for a month or two. Well, probably until the end of my campsite warden work, because I'm not getting on the bets in a timely manner. Because typically I could be sort of doing some work and that when the bets come through. I'm going to keep the Premier Greyhound Tips, because he only does about 1 or 2 tips maximum a day. You'll typically he won't supply a tip every single day, so you don't get 7 days a week of tips. You might get like just 5 days or 4 days, and there might only be 1 or 2 tips there, so they're a lot easier and quicker to get on than the Bookie's Enemy, who typically provides a lot more, can be 4 or 5. Plus, he didn't do very well last month, but that was just a one-off looking at the stats. So I need more time to be able to do that. It's not labour intensive, but you obviously have to go on and find the best odds with the bookies you've still got available and make sure you can get the bets on. And because I'm using £5 per point, I'm typically having to try and put £5 bets on now. I kind of can't do that now with Bet365 and Sky Bet and stuff, but I use Odds Checker to sort of show you the best odds available for the selection, and it just takes a little bit of time. It's not massive. It's only 5 or 10 minutes, but I much prefer stuff like the Each Way Sniper, where it's just a case of looking at the end of the day and seeing how much you've made or how much you've lost. So that's the plan for that one. I will be looking at some of the other bookies as well. It's something I do want to pick up on, Betting Gods, because I do like the service. But I just need to have some time to do it. Aka Insurance, I didn't do any last month. Football finished kind of at the start, well, by the end of May, start of June, and the season was finished. So I didn't get on any. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm picking that back up in August, so I'll expect a big zero on July as well. I'm picking it back up in August when the football season starts again. I just don't think there's enough. I don't know. It looks dodgy on your account as well if you're continuing to bet on all these daft games that are going on at the minute. Odds Monkey, I just done a couple of £5 free bets that I got with Bet365 before they gubbed me completely. So yeah, that was just a couple of £5 free bets that I got from them. I didn't do any of that stuff on that. Again, that's like the one above. I'll be picking that up in August or September, even just when I've got more time after I've finished working. TaskRabbit, again, I've mentioned that one. As I go through these, there'll be certain things that you'll see could be relevant to yourselves, and there could be certain things that there's no way you'd be able to do them or want to do them potentially, because you might not be in a position to do them. For like this gig economy one, TaskRabbit, if you remember, I'd done it for a month in April before I started my campsite warden job. And I've not done it since, and the plan is not to do it until, I don't know, I might do a little bit in October if I get a chance. If I don't, then it'll be into next year, or I might not even do it at all any further forward. You might not be in a position to do it. You might not be any good at DIY. You might not be able to put like IKEA furniture together. You might not have a vehicle to get around in. You might not have the inclination to go out and meet people and do that, and that's fine. These are just income streams that I've personally done and that I've done videos on. Exponential Bet, I've ditched. I've binned it, so I've turned it red. That'll be taken off the Driftometer at the end of the year. I'm not going to take stuff off mid-year because there is some obviously numbers here to account for. And we've got minus £119 for Exponential Bet. I didn't actually see. We saw 1 month of profit. I didn't see any sort of future for it from my point of view. I'm not going to peddle stuff that isn't making any money, and I'm not going to suggest you guys do that if I'm not doing it. I'm not going to suggest things that I haven't tried, for example. Dog trading, that's had a turnaround. If you remember, we'd done a lot of income with laying the forecast, which kind of went pear-shaped in May. So in June, I'm just saying, yeah, we've changed that. I'm just keeping it as the same category. But we've changed it from the dog lay forecast to the UK favourite strategy. Now that's made £103 in June. And again, in the dogs section on the Discord group, the dogs channel under Betfair Trading, I'm trying to post daily updates about the numbers I'm getting. I've got 4 strategies running at the minute, which are just slightly different in that they look for a favourite that's 15% ahead of the field, 17.5%, 20 or 25% on to the second favourite. And that's sort of doing pretty well. It resets after 3 consecutive losses, so I lose a lot of the history, but it does keep a running total for each of the 4 strategies. And that's all on 20 pence stakes. I think the idea in July, I think I put something out there on the Discord group as for ideas on should I just increase the stakes to 50 pence or a pound or something like that from 20 pence. What I'm actually been given ideas. I might do a couple of videos on analysing the data, looking by grade or looking by track to see if any are better than others. So keep an eye out for that. Progressing, I might up it to 50 pence in any case, because looking at the losses, saying that it has, I might up it to 50 pence, but saying that the last sort of few days of the month has been pretty poor. Like I think the top two peaked at over £50 profit each, but now they're both back down to just under £40 profit each. So for some reason, the last few days, and there's been no changes to the strategy at all. It must just be the sort of variance playing a part. All four have gone down like quite considerably. This was probably about 120, £130 profit before the last few days. Moving on to the next one, then we've got Bet247 Pro. I'll come across Bet247 Pro after kind of looking to bin Exponential Bet. Exponential Bet used a system called Cloud Bet Bot, and I really like the principles behind Cloud Bet Bot because it just basically it puts all the bets on for you. You don't even need a PC running because it's all in the cloud. As long as you've got the service active, set to active, it will place these bets for you. Now, they're more or less just tipster bets, I'd say, because it's not trading as such. It's a Exponential Bet was a pre sort of race on horses bet, and so is Bet247 Pro. There's no like sort of hedging or anything like that, or greening up. It's just a simple bet. So to me, it's more of a tipster service. But we did do £46 profit on Bet247 Pro. I started that on the 7th of June at £10 stakes. And because we did make a profit in June, I've upped the stakes on the 1st of July to £20. We've got the guy called Alan who runs the Bet247 Pro system. He's an active member at the moment on our Discord server. So by all means, if you're thinking about it, just jump on board and give it a go. You have to use a minimum of £10 stakes on the horses. There's a football one as well, but that hasn't as many bets, obviously, with it being close season. But you need to use a minimum of £10 stakes because that's the minimum for Betfair BSP betting for liability, because it uses liability stakes, whereby the maximum you'll lose is your stake of, well, not your stake, but the liability of £10 or whatever you set the stake as. But yeah, that's going pretty well actually. I'm more than happy with it. I know it's only £46, but the fact is, I only started on the lowest stakes. Like I say, I've doubled that now. If I'd been using £20 stakes at the start, when I started, that would have been nearly £100 profit, 92. And that's it, other than my campsite warden, which is still going pretty well. I was a bit snowed under last week because the owners went away for a week in their caravan just to have a break. I think they're feeling the pace just before we get onto the holiday seasons for the kids' holidays, because apparently it's going to ramp right up in a couple of weeks when the kids are off school, and we're just going to have 6 to 8 weeks of absolute mayhem apparently. I'll let you know how that goes. But anyway, last week Mrs. D and myself were basically in charge of the campsite, so we did a lot more hours. So I've got Saturday and Sunday off this week, on Monday and Tuesday. So that'll give me a little bit of time to catch up on things and be a bit more active. Obviously, it's going to die down. I'm going to be snowed in again. I'm going to try and just do the normal hours going forward, though, because we've accrued a lot of hours in credit, which still need to determine whether we want to be paid for those or just take the time off at some point. There's not going to be much time to get time off now until September, I don't think, though, because we've got 2 weeks, like I say, and then the school holidays start. So that's that one. Just with regards to the half annual, then you can see that was our best month so far. 2,500 were broke in June, which I'm more than happy with. And as you can see, for the 6 months, we've made £9,526, which I never thought would be possible. One caveat on that, or one warning, is that obviously the greenest ones here, starting with the greenest, is Each Way Sniper. You can see I've made £3,922 since January. I'm expecting that to tail off for the reasons I've already gone through. So I do need to try and cover that because it is going to die off. So the numbers will go back down. So I do need other forms of income to cover that. I'm just concerned that's £4,000 out of 9.5. It's a good 40 odd percent of the income. The campsite warden work as well as the second highest, which is 2.5. That's obviously just 3 months standard pay there. That will disappear in another 3 months' time, but that's just the nature of that one. And then the affiliate marketing, I'm going to maybe look at ramping that up to cover any losses on the Each Way, not losses on the Each Way Sniper, but reductions on the Each Way Sniper income. So I need to maybe have a look at doing other things there. I've also got other things that I've already started working on in the pipeline, which I'm hoping you're going to find quite interesting. I'm going to try and get a video out on it in the next couple of weeks, although I'm still just busy. It's all new to me, so I'm learning it myself. But I think I might get a video out in case anybody who's subscribed to the channel knows anything about it, because it is something that probably most of you will have actually heard of. But whether any of you are using it, then that's a different matter altogether. But if there is, then maybe you could provide some useful input, because like I say, I'm just learning it myself. But if I just do one more thing here, if I go along to January here for the total, we made £702 January. If I just tot up those 6 months, that's my £9,500, which gives me an average of 1,588 per month, which I'm absolutely delighted with, to be honest, considering when you just look at the different types of income sources we have here. For, I would say, minimal work, some of it is less passive than others. I mean, I just love the passive ones like Each Way Sniper and now Bet247 Pro, because all I'm doing really there is just totting up numbers at the end of the day, just to give to other people, so they know how much I'm making or losing. Obviously, things like TaskRabbit's the other end of the scale, where you have to actually go out and do some work, and even the campsite warden, that's actually me having to go and do 4 hours of work a day for 5 days a week. But it's all the separate income sources I have at the minute, so worth going through. Okay, if you want to see anything, I'm still trying to get. I know a lot of you guys are probably members of the channel for the betting side of things and that, but I am still trying to look at things away from that. I feel as though I'm getting railroaded into, well, just, I don't know, soon to be veering into betting all the time, and I want to try and get as many different sort of income sources, even if it's just, anything £100 a month or more is viable, because if you've got, like, say, £1,000 a month, that's a grand, and I'm doing 2.5 at the minute. Well, I've done 2.5 last month. So I just want to look at other options as well, not just betting. Now, I know that might put some of you guys off who are just here for the betting, but we'll always have the betting because we've got a few different streams at the minute. If anybody's got any ideas about how any other side hustles or anything like that as well, then just drop them in the Discord or drop me an email. But that's it for now. That's the update for June and the mid-year for 2023. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Cheers now. Gan Canny.